if you have seen any man who is anything in the world, there are only two factories where wealth are made, and that is in the stock market and the real estate. Again, you go and find out, if you've been in South Africa, you will see that it is more of white South Africans that are actually investing than the black South African. So investment is a black thing, and it's only very few people among the blacks who are actually well enlightened that are putting money in the stock exchange.
This is SOUQ Business Landscape. The Nigerian Exchange Limited closed higher on Wednesday as renewed investor optimism lifted equities, pushing total market capitalization up by 598 billion to 106.78 trillion. We crossed the threshold of the 100 trillion when we started this particular year, and we are still climbing. Now, the gain represents 0.56% increase from the previous season, reflecting improved sentiment despite softer overall trading activities on the bourse. Trading data showed that 752.4 million shares were exchanged in 55,739 deals with total turnover of 29.62 billion. Compared with Tuesday, volume declined by 33%, while turnover fell by 12%, pointing to more cautious participation by investors during the season. However, the number of deals rose by 13%, indicating sustained interest in select stock. Even as broader activity slowed, analysts are saying that the mixed indicators suggest investors are positioning selectively, balancing profit taking with fresh buying amid expectation of improved earnings and macroeconomic stability in the near term. Yes, for those that are wondering, this is going to be our staple on daily basis. We will tell you, hey, this is what the market is doing, this is where the market is going. These are the shares that have the grains. So as we speak right now, let us educate you, because Doctor will get to speak about it. Some of the companies you see that are listed, your mind should not always go at the outlets that you see on normal basis. They have other major businesses they are doing. For example, Academy Press. Somebody say, are we still doing printing? Well, check out their other businesses. The last trading section, they had the highest increase, 10%. And that share is still going for 8 naira 25 kobo. Cheap, you think it is. Now, calculate the amount of shares you can buy. Now, NCR PLC, that's the Nigerian part of it, they rose 9.98%. The shares is still 106.3 naira. Then Triple G Company, 9.95% increase. And the shares is for 4 naira 86 kobo. Now, we have to bring these prices so that people will get to know that when we say, hey, look at shares, it's not about shares that are, yes, the supply item might be in thousands, but you still get shares in less than 10 naira. It now depends on your accumulation. Then the banking sectors, the major ones that had the first one were the fintechs. E-Transact, 9.25% rise, and that share is going for 19.95. Then G's Bank. Yes, you heard us. 9.87% rise. 7.46 naira. There's always a place for you to come in. Dear Doc, why are people still sitting on the bicycle?
Well, I think a lot of people in our environment really do not appreciate or value the capital market so much, because publicity is weak about activities of Nigerian Stock Exchange. And people also do not believe, because there's also some level of trust deficit, especially arising from the dip that happened with the dip in 2008. There are a whole lot of sour history around investment and losses, and people become very cautious in terms of approaching the capital market. There's no doubt that the new management of NGX has done pretty well in terms of putting standards and system in place to guarantee that markets are not unnecessarily manipulated. But you see, trust is always earned. And people want to see things happen before they can believe it. So if you tell somebody to say you can make money, you want to see that you yourself had made money. I tell people this is a very short story. Some years ago, when I was learning that market, somebody came and explained it to me. And it was just a simple thing. And he opened the back of newspaper to me and he said, just be looking at what's happening every day. And so you can count your money from the back of the newspaper. So it became very practical. And I don't think a number of people have that understanding how to get involved. People are still thinking that you need to be a millionaire before you can play in the market. Today, fintech has made a lot of things so easy and simple that on the comfort of your room, between 9 a.m. in the morning and 2:30 in the morning, you can actually trade on your app, on your mobile phone. You can buy, you can sell. Those days, people need to have a stockbroker who help them to arrange these stocks. So you can actually follow on a lot of mobile app on your Android or your iOS device. And then you're trading by yourself. And it's as good as that today, that you can actually invest as little as 500 naira, that you don't need to have 10,000 before you invest. There's a minimum threshold you can buy, maybe 10 units. So if you have a stock that, for example, is selling at 6 naira, 10 units will be about 60 naira. So which means you can invest as little as 60 naira in the stock. But if you accumulate it over a period of time, you will see that it becomes an amount to something significant. That education is needed. And I'm also glad that SOUQ News is talking about this development. So we just hear people say, oh, stock, what are they really doing there? How do I earn from it? So that level of education is needed. And once people don't have information, chances are that they will not benefit. But like I said to anybody, if you have seen any man who is anything in the world, there are only two factories where wealth are made. And that is in the stock market and the real estate.
Okay, that's for Doc. Stock market and real estate. Add agriculture to it, please. And then we need that mass employment here. Only I'm coming to you. Looking at the top gainers for yesterday,
I would have asked Chooks. Mm-hmm. My father did agriculture for more than 60 years and he was never rich.
Okay.
Okay.
But being rich is relative.
Yes. So but what I'm saying to you is that anybody who is something in the world today,
money rich,
okay, property rich. There's just two factories where these people are born. It's either in the stock market or they are born in the real estate business. So you check it out. Anybody you can say who is who today in Nigeria, they are in that space.
I can now gladly tender my resignation and get to the real estate.
You don't need to resign.
I can still stay.
You can still be working and doing and investing in real estate.
I hope you heard that. Yeah. So we have no excuse because we have to grow and capitalize our NGX. Let's leave the comparison with South Africa for now. Now let's talk about the top gainers we're looking at. Some of the companies mentioned, people look at them as face value. You hear Academy Press, the first thing that comes to your mind, okay, but I know their company in that place is not as big as it used to be before. But do people really know that they also have diversified and invested in some other things? Well, the Academy Press, they tantalize us. You only see the outlets where they sell food.
Yes.
Are people aware that there are other avenues that these companies are making money on ground?
Well, if people are not aware, even if people are not aware, I think it's all about how you project yourself to people. For instance, now we've been shouting, we've been telling people that go invest in insurance. Insurance, they are booming, and some other consumer goods, they are booming right now. Banks are now sending text messages to their customers. I received a message from my bank that, it's going for 6 naira, thereabout, or 10 naira, thereabout. You can actually invest in our bank since you are our customer. So I think we need more of that. And just like Doc said, it's just for people to understand what stock is. See, a lot of people in the market and all that, they have money, unused money that they are not really using. And while people always complain that when you put money in the bank, it's instead of appreciating, they are taking 5 naira, 10 naira for card maintenance, this maintenance, that. You can actually invest part of that money in stock. But we've developed this culture of get rich quick as a result of these Ponzi schemes, the influx of Ponzi schemes that has really got into the minds of Nigerians, and you just believe that, oh, if I put 10,000 and by next month I'll collect 20,000, by the second month I'll collect 40,000, and by the third month I'll collect 100,000, and but we really now need to rebrand our mind that look, you can actually invest. You can put your rent, what you're saving for your rent. Let's say you're saving 100,000 or thereabout, and you're just topping it up every month. And by the end of the year, you have something. You fall back on something. You could put a whole lot of things, money that you're not really using. And it's not, you don't have to wait to have 100,000, 200, or 1 million. You can start with 10,000, 20,000, and just be adding it every month and watch your money grow. It's a mobile platform, so you don't need a stockbroker. You can actually watch it. You can download different types of mobile platform and see what offers they have and check it for yourself. You can actually do it for yourself. It's not rocket science. But I think a lot of people just need to understand what stock is and understand that stock is even better than the lotto or the sport, the betting and all that. That's just it.
Okay. A different school of thought want to argue with you on that, but hey,
Okay.
let's let that argument be. Remember that we believe that this country will grow. We believe that it will get to a time when no matter the company, they can walk into the stock exchange and get monies in billions because of the capitalization there. So hey, and it's me, it's you. We need to get ourselves involved in our stock market. And also companies that have not listed, how can we get them to allay their fears and get to the market?
Well, I think a lot of people are afraid of exposure, which is risk. When you are listed in the stock market, you see your books are in the open. You become more transparent. Governance really increase, which is something that a lot of people should actually be interested in. But you see, because of the nature of the environment, a lot of people still feel that just like we do culturally, children are not supposed to be counted. So people don't want their value to be known. A lot of people like to micromanage. They don't want business grow out of their control, which is fundamentally a very big problem. I remember in 2008, I met an uncle of mine, and we got talking, and I discovered that he was very highly positioned in the telecom market. He actually brought Motorola into this country.
Wow.
But he had a small office somewhere in Ale Avenue where he was the MD, the secretary, and everything. So he didn't want to bring in people who were more intelligent than him to drive the process until we got to where we were at Obasanjo time, and the entire market space was digitized, and those who were able to put structure in place were the one actually getting the benefit. And I think those cultural barriers are still there that affect participation of a lot of people who could actually be listed in the capital market. So these are things where I said we need a lot of education. That people also want to do business, and they also have to have clear intention in terms of the area of governance. That once you are listing in the market, you should be able to separate roles so that the money is no longer your private money. It has to be now managed profitably. So it's not just woman working the money and asking accountant to transfer money to one account. So budget has to be in place. And this is what a lot of people are running away from. And that's why people are not too many people are participating in that industry. You don't need to be $1 billion company before you get to participate. You can participate at the level that you are. And this is also where, of course, fintech has also come to help a lot of people. Although there are a lot of scams that's also happening around that sector because it needs to be properly cleaned up. the SEC or the NGX needs to see how to incorporate this fintech who are also doing crowdfunding for small business projects like farming and the rest of it, that they can actually become a subsidiary under the exchange so that people can understand that, look, if you are asking the public to send you money, we need to know the structure that are on ground to ensure that whatever anybody is putting into that business, that fund is safe. And I think these are the issues that around us. You mentioned that you didn't want to dabble into the South African issue. Again, you go and find out if you've been in South Africa. You will see that it is more of white South Africans that are actually investing than the black South Africa. So investment is a black thing. And it's only very few people among the blacks who are actually well enlightened that are putting money in the stock exchange.